There was a morning when I woke up and did not recognize the person lying in that bed. Not physically. Physically, everything was the same. Same hands. Same face in the mirror. But something underneath had gone missing, and I could not tell you exactly when it left, only that it was gone. The job that used to define me was gone. The relationship that used to anchor me was gone. The version of myself I had spent years constructing, piece by piece, title by title, had quietly collapsed, and nobody sent a warning. I want to tell you what that actually feels like, because most people talk about failure like it is a single moment. A single bad day. It is not. It is a slow erosion. It is waking up and realizing that the story you told yourself about who you were no longer holds any weight. And when that story falls apart, you do not just lose a job, or a person, or a plan. You lose the mirror you used to understand yourself. You lose the reference point. And for a while, there is nothing to replace it with. Just static. Just silence where a self used to be. I remember sitting on the floor of an empty apartment surrounded by boxes I had no motivation to unpack and thinking, if this is not who I am anymore, then who exactly is sitting here? That question sounds simple. It is not. Most people spend their entire lives avoiding it, because the answer requires you to admit that the identity you built was never as solid as you thought. It was scaffolding, and scaffolding can be torn down in a season. For weeks, I did not try to fix anything. I want to be honest about that, because most rebuilding stories skip this part. They jump straight to the discipline, the routines, the comeback. But before any of that, there was just numbness. There was staring at a ceiling until the sun came up. There was avoiding phone calls from people who loved me because I did not have the energy to perform being okay. If you are in that stage right now, I am not going to tell you to snap out of it. I am going to tell you that it is real, and it does not mean you are broken. It means something inside you is being reorganized, and reorganization always looks like collapse before it looks like anything else. The turning point for me was not dramatic. There was no single speech I gave myself in the mirror. It was smaller than that, and stranger than that. It was one morning where I made my bed. That is it. I made my bed, and for reasons I still cannot fully explain, that tiny act of order in a chaotic mind gave me something to stand on. Not hope exactly, just a flat surface. A place to put my next thought. That is when I started to understand something most people never get told directly. You do not rebuild your identity by deciding who you want to be. You rebuild it by choosing what you do again and again until the doing becomes the evidence. Identity is not a decision. It is a record. It is built the same way trust is built with another person, through repeated action over time, not through intention. So I stopped trying to figure out who I was. I stopped journaling about my purpose and vision boards and identity statements. Instead, I picked one thing. Just one. I decided I would move my body every single day, no matter how small the effort. Some days that meant a walk around the block. Some days it meant lying on the floor doing nothing but stretching for 4 minutes because that was all I had. But I did it every day. And slowly, without me noticing exactly when it happened, that one kept promise became a thread. And I held on to that thread like it was the only rope out of a very deep hole. From there, I added another. I stopped checking my phone within the first hour of waking up. Simple, almost embarrassingly simple. But every simple promise I kept to myself started rebuilding something that failure had taken from me, which was trust. Not trust in the world. Trust in myself. The belief that when I say I will do something, I actually will. That belief had been quietly destroyed by years of good intentions that never turned into action, and I did not realize how much that erosion had cost me until I started reversing it. There is a kind of strength that nobody claps for, nobody posts about it. It is not going to trend. It is the strength of doing the unremarkable thing on a day when you have every reasonable excuse not to. Getting up when grief is still sitting on your chest. Showing up to your own life when no one is there to witness it. That is where identity actually gets rebuilt. Not in the highlight reel. In the folding of laundry. In the small, unnoticed repetitions that no one will ever see, but that you will feel the effects of for the rest of your life. I had to unlearn something too, which was the idea that rebuilding meant becoming a completely new person. It does not. I did not become someone unrecognizable. I became more myself than I had ever been, because so much of what I lost was never truly mine to begin with. It was borrowed. It was performance. It was the version of me shaped by what other people expected, what looked impressive, what felt safe to present to the world. When all of that fell away, what remained was smaller, quieter, and far more honest. And learning to respect that smaller, quieter version of myself was harder than any external achievement I had ever chased. There were setbacks. I want to say that clearly, because stories like this tend to smooth over the relapses. There were days I went right back to the floor, days I broke the promise to move my body, days I picked the phone back up within minutes of opening my eyes. The difference this time was not that I stopped failing. The difference was that I stopped treating failure as proof that the rebuilding was not working. I started treating it as part of the process. A missed day was not the end of the thread. It was just a knot. You tie it, and you keep going. Slowly, the static started to clear. Not all at once. It was not a single morning where the fog lifted and everything made sense. It was more like watching a photograph develop. Details returning at the edges first, then filling toward the center. I started noticing things I actually cared about, separate from the roles I used to play. I started making decisions based on what felt honest instead of what looked correct. And somewhere in that slow unfolding, I realized the person I was rebuilding was not a copy of who I used to be. It was someone new, forged specifically by what I had walked through, someone who could not have existed without the collapse that came before it. If there is one thing I would want you to take from this, it is that losing who you thought you were is not the tragedy people make it out to be. It is disorienting, and it is painful, and it will ask more of you than you think you have. But it is also the only real doorway into becoming someone with a foundation instead of a performance. The people who seem unshakable, the ones who move through the world with a kind of quiet certainty, they were not born that way. Most of them were dismantled first, by loss, by failure, by circumstances that stripped away everything except what was actually true. You do not need a grand plan to start rebuilding. You do not need clarity about your entire future. You need one promise you can keep to yourself tomorrow morning, and then you need to keep it. That is the whole method, not motivation, not inspiration, just evidence, built one kept promise at a time, until the person staring back at you in the mirror is someone you trust again. I am not the person I was before everything fell apart. I am not trying to be. What I am now was built in the wreckage of what I lost, and that is not a weakness. That is the only material any of us ever actually have to build with.